an interesting story that has emerged from the investigating officer. And what we are now hearing is that Mr. Katiso is planning to get a bail. And once he gets a bail, he wants to skip the country to Hong Kong. It was planned that he will get a bail, and after getting bail, number one. Two, you must ask yourself a question. Why will he get bail? Consider the cases, the charges. Well, I know a lot of people will say, but bail is not necessarily a trial. Therefore, but sometimes you kind of feel like some people don't deserve bail. Like seriously, how will you release Rosemary Ndlovu on bail? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not a flight risk, but how will you release her on bail? How do you release Katiso on bail? Like, it doesn't make sense. How do you release Matlala on bail? It doesn't make sense. Like, literally doesn't make sense. But nonetheless, we'll get into that. So, another thing that has emerged is that Mr. Katiso is actually a fraudster and should not get a bail. It's not according to me, but it's according to the affidavit from the investigating officer. Now, as quoted by Thunderbird, they are saying business Katiso Molefe'S, who is suspected of being the mastermind behind the murder of well-known musician, producer, and club owner Opa John Sefoka, better known as DJ Somebody, will know the outcome of his bail application until next week. This man, who is 61 years of age, appeared at Alexandra Magistrate Court on Thursday for the continuation of his bail application, which is opposed by the state. Molefe and three alleged men, Michelle Puletau, who was the 55, and Musa Kekana 35, and Tiago Fort Mabusela 47, have been charged with murders of DJ Somebody and his two bodyguards, and the list goes on. Right. So, what I want you to notice here is, I don't think a bail will do well. Before we go even further, I don't think a bail will do good, or something that should be done so far as these people are concerned. I will tell you why. The fact that the investigator's life is in danger, such that she needs 24-hour protection, it tells us that you don't want to give this man the luxury of sitting outside and planning even further. We don't want that. So, for this reason that Mkhwanazi, when speaking about the bail of Katiso, he said that he raised it as a concern that how do you release Katiso on bail, considering his involvement in this criminal activity? Do you remember Mkhwanazi speaking about it? Oh, you have forgotten. No, I don't. I didn't forget. I'll bring evidence that Mkhwanazi has raised those issues to say it doesn't make sense to release this man. He lamented that when he spoke on the 6th of July, 2025. He said this.
On the 6th of December 2024, the task team visited the premises of the two of the high-profile syndicate, of which one, Mr. Katiso Molefe'S, was arrested for the murder of Mr. Swart of QTech. During that arrest, an unusual activities were observed whilst the team were busy with the operation. These activities included a dispatching of members of the South African Police Service under the command of a senior manager at the head office to go and interrupt the operation that was unfolding. Fortunately, when they arrived there, the members realized that it is indeed a police operation, so they allowed the members to carry out their operation. without disturbance. On the 26th of June 2025, the accused, Katiso Molefe'S, who was arrested by the very same task team, was granted bail. Guess that one went under the radar.
Now, let's start here. We're now hearing that this same Molefe was planning to leave for Hong Kong after getting bail. I'm going to remind you something. Mena accused and sentient businessman Katiso Molefe'S bail application continues in Alexandra Magistrate Court on Thursday. Molefe was named as okay, we'll leave that one. That one is not important. They are saying in December last year, Molefe was recently implicated in an explosive claim of capture and by Mkhwanazi, and they took the life of Swart. He was ultimately released on 10,000 bail in the Swart matter, but he was arrested for Sefoka and Buthelez's matter last month and is now once again applying for bail. The application kicked off on Alexandra Magistrate Court last week. Right now, we are going into the statement of the affidavit of this of the. We need to go. Oh, let's go now to this part. This part that is important. Remember that previously he got arrested and he was out on bail. During the time when he was out on bail, the same Katiso, he then instructed his lawyers, go get my passport. You're going to listen to the ridiculous reasons why he wanted his passport. You're going to listen to that. Ridiculous reasons why. Listen to this. I refused the request when asked, let's start here. In an affidavit deposed by the investigating officer in the current case, which was read into the record on Thursday, she added that after Molefe was released on bail, she got a call from his attorney requesting the return of his passport. Listen to this very carefully. I refused this request because one of the reasons why bail was granted was with the understanding that he handed over his passport. Two independent and reliable sources indicate to me that Molefe intended to leave for Hong Kong after he was granted bail. Obviously, lawyers are lawyers. They will argue however they want to argue, but just by looking at, by the virtue, all of his cases are serious cases. Why would you release him on bail? By the virtue of the seriousness of this, number one. Number two, the fact that it has been confirmed that the man wanted his passport. Even the lawyers do not deny that. You're going to listen to the lame excuse. It tells you that we cannot have this man outside. I fear, on behalf of the investigating officer, she must be protected. So I just wish the court does the right thing. But listen to the defense of Mr. Katiso. This is what they say. Molefe'S counsel advocate Mike Charles, however, read into record an affidavit deposed by his client. Molefe claimed that he had previously given his passport to a former lover and he was unaware that the police now had it, and that the instruction to his attorney was not to obtain the passport and request that it be handed back to me, but merely that to determine the whereabouts of the passport. You see, we'll read some of the stuff. Here, that's when you realize that the story of the man wanting to go to Hong Kong is true. It cannot be that you get granted bail and you're told the conditions. Then you say you don't know where your passport is. You just wanted to make sure. But you told the police you want your passport. Like, the story doesn't make sense. There's no logic in the story. I believe the Hong Kong story. Had he came up with another justification, if the passport was with the lover, why didn't he tell his attorney to go to the lover and get the passport from his lover? Why do you go via the police? If he wanted to ascertain himself about the whereabouts of the passport, if really he was telling the truth, that no, I just wanted to know where the whereabouts of the passport, why wouldn't you call your ex-lover and say, where is my passport? I can't see my passport here. I need to hand over the passport to the police or to the investigating officer. Where is my passport? Why do you call the police and say you want your passport back, but This is where you know that the man really, it is true that the man wanted to run away. So if he's given bail, I will know good, there's something wrong here. But listen to this. Insofar as my attorney may have thought that I was asking him to get the passport from the police, he had misunderstood my instruction. I simply wanted to know where it was, said Molefe, adding that the High Court had in fact not ordered him to surrender his traveling documents. Okay, so you just wanted to know where your passport is. Oh, okay, we get it. But but it's so interesting when people say some other stuff. They think that we are children, like we are children. But yeah, let's get on to this part. He has emotional, family, community, occupational, business tie, as well as substantial assets in Gauteng province, where he is to be tied. And the Republic of South Africa in general also makes the probability of abscondment extremely remote. I don't believe that Mr. Molefe doesn't stand a chance of not escaping. I honestly don't buy into such lies. I am of the view that it is not in the best interest of justice to have Mr. Molefe walking free, well, not free per se, but walking out on bail. It is not in the interest of justice. So the words that I'm interested to hear is, in the interest of justice, Mr. Molefe, this court rules that it is not in the interest of justice for you to be released on bail. Therefore, bail is refused.